Just how wicked can the scheming Rocket be? To let Selby experience this agony of being tormented, he truly racked his brains, squeezing out top-tier snookers in waves of relentless pressure. He pushed the defensive master into doubting his very life. Eventually, his mindset collapsed completely, sitting frozen in his chair, refusing to get up for a long while. The process was far beyond merely too painful to watch. It was nothing short of killing both body and soul. At this moment, the white and pink balls were almost touching, but Master Selby had total confidence in his cue ball control, so without the slightest hesitation he went for the shot. Who would have thought the cue ball, as if fitted with GPS, dropped precisely into the middle pocket, and the burly O'Sullivan was driven to the depths of despair. Just as he thought his opponent would seize this chance to end the match in one go, unexpectedly the proud and lethal O'Sullivan had already made up his mind to show Selby some respect, so he decisively signaled the referee to reset. Such a high-quality defense. If he only let his opponent escape with one shot, that would be a real letdown to the fans who paid to see the fireworks. Let's see how Selby's second escape shot turns out, now that he has a lesson to learn from. He truly lives up to the name of cue ball control master. This shot's line was exactly the same as the previous one, but how could the Rocket off the table let his opponent off so easily, rather than taking a huge risk forcing his own turn at the table? It's better to leave the heavy task of escaping to his opponent, and he can use this chance to sharpen Selby's escape skills. Everyone in front of the screen, what do you think? Can he resolve this tough spot smoothly on his third shot? It really is sweetness after hardship. O'Sullivan successfully escaped on his third shot, and the cue ball's resting spot left no opening for his opponent either. But before he could recover from the joy of escaping, the Rocket's follow-up shot dragged his freshly escaped opponent back into the abyss. Kicking away the red ball, the cue ball naturally tucked behind the blue ball, and out came a flawless, airtight snooker. Selby, taking it all in, instantly wore a bitter expression. What he never dreamed of was that the old fellow off the table was a famously aggressive attacking demon. How come today he's playing defense? At this point, the only two red balls left on the table were both in the lower half, but the blue ball blocked the lower escape line. The only escape line was to come from above off the cushion, but the difficulty was obvious beyond words. Even the slightest deviation in angle could cause the escape to fail. Let's see, facing this even tougher defense, how many shots will Selby need to resolve it? After 2.5 minutes of thought, Master Selby raised his cue and played a shot with no respect for technique. The cue ball roamed the table like a wild horse off its reins, but in the end it failed to touch the red ball. Seeing this, the Rocket off the table quickly looked away to hide his laughter. The highly tactful referee simply picked up the cue ball and began resetting. Selby seemed to sense his opponent secretly chuckling, and he was boiling with frustration. To shut that old fellow up with sheer skill, this time he prepared to change direction and try the escape again. It's truly unbelievable. This was already the third time the cue ball had charged off to failure without looking back. At this moment, Master Selby was utterly in despair, because he had handed his opponent 16 points in a row, but the Rocket, who had finally tasted the thrill of easy points, how could he just let it go? On the contrary, he even wanted to see what other jaw-droppingly absurd play Selby would come up with. What a shame. This tightly played shot missed joining hands with the red ball by a hair. O'Sullivan locked his eyes on the scoreboard. If there were one more escape error, then he would personally hand his opponent the points to go ahead. Therefore, his next shot had to be approached with full concentration to ensure there was no slip-up on the escape route. Even though he gave it his all, this shot still failed to escape, and this was the final straw that broke Master Selby. But fortunately, by now he had already given his opponent enough to go ahead, so he wouldn't need to attempt the escape anymore. However, what he absolutely never expected was that the Rocket had become obsessed with defense today. His next move was simply ruthless beyond humanity, smashing the pink ball home with a power shot. At this point, the pink ball at the bottom pocket still offered a chance to continue, but O'Sullivan ignored it entirely. Instead, he pointed the Q-tip at the yellow ball, then casually played yet another high-quality snooker. At this moment, Selby had no heart left to fight. He just curled up in the corner, conceding and surrendering with this